Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a seriously heavy day in the soap world, and honestly, I am still trying to process what we just watched. Grab a coffee or a strong drink because we need to talk about the absolute tragedy that just unfolded on The Bold and the Beautiful. Let's just dive right into it because my mind is spinning. And I just have to start by saying I knew this was coming. I mean, we all knew something was going to break, right? You can only push a character so far before they completely snap, and Brooke Logan Forrester has been pushed past her absolute breaking point. So let's talk about the aftermath of that devastating scene where Brooke finally kicked Hope and Liam out of the cabin on the Logan estate. We saw the door slam. We saw Hope and Liam standing there in shock. But what we didn't see, until now, was what happened to Brooke when the silence finally settled in. The silence in that massive house must have been absolutely deafening. Brooke was just left there standing in the middle of her living room, completely alone with the crushing reality of what her daughter just did. Hope didn't just take a new job. She didn't just switch fashion houses. She publicly humiliated her mother, sided with Katie, who Brooke has literally declared enemy #1 right now, and aligned herself with Bill Spencer. The betrayal wasn't just professional, it was deeply, deeply personal. And Brooke's heart wasn't just broken, it was bleeding out. You could see it in her eyes before she slammed that door. She felt like she had lost her child forever. So Brooke is alone. She is wandering around that big empty house, and the ghosts of her past are just screaming at her. The despair is so thick you could cut it with a knife. And in that moment of pure, blinding desperation, she finds it. An old, forgotten bottle of hard liquor just sitting there in the back of a cabinet. Honestly, my heart dropped into my stomach the second the camera panned to that bottle. We all know Brooke's history. We know how she struggles. The writers have taken us down this dark, heartbreaking road of Brooke's alcoholism before, but this time it feels so much heavier. Because this time, it's not about a man. It's not about Ridge or Bill or Eric. It's about her daughter. The one person she thought would always, always be on her side. At first, it was just going to be one drink. You could see the justification happening in her head. Just one glass to numb the pain. Just one sip to stop the room from spinning and to quiet the voices in her head that kept replaying Hope's press conference over and over again. But it's never just one drink, not for an addict. Not for someone who is in that much emotional agony. And she just couldn't stop. She drank and she drank and she drank. The shadows of her past just completely swallowed her whole. She let the alcohol wash away the harsh reality of her shattered motherhood and her profound loneliness. She drank until the pain faded, but she didn't stop there. She drank until her consciousness literally faded away into the darkness. She collapsed right there amidst the ruins of her family. It was so hard to watch. It was just brutal, a massive, catastrophic relapse after years and years of trying so hard to stay sober. And it wasn't just a slip-up, it was severe alcohol poisoning. She drank herself into a coma because the reality of losing Hope was literally too painful to survive sober. Then the scene shifts and suddenly we are with Hope. Hope Logan Spencer, the newly crowned queen of Logan, the girl who just had the most successful runway launch of her life. She gets the call. I don't know who found Brooke. Maybe it was Donna coming by to check on her. Maybe it was Ridge. The show didn't make it totally clear yet, but the call comes in and Hope's entire world just stops. She is told her mother is in critical condition with severe alcohol poisoning. And you can see the exact second that all of Hope's ambition, all of her pride, all of her smug satisfaction about Hope by Logan just turns to absolute ash in her mouth. Hope drops everything and rushes to the hospital. Liam is with her, of course. Liam is always there hovering, looking worried. But let's be real, what can Liam even do in this situation? He offered her the Spencer mansion as a refuge, but a mansion doesn't mean anything when your mother is dying because of a war you started. So Hope is running through the hospital corridors. She is frantic. She is hyperventilating. And she finally gets to the ICU. She looks through the glass, and there is Brooke. Brooke Logan Forrester, this vibrant, passionate, unstoppable force of nature, lying there completely motionless. She is hooked up to 1,000,000 for tubes. Machines are beeping, monitors are blinking, and she looks so small, so fragile. And the guilt, oh my God, the guilt that hits Hope in that moment is palpable. You can feel it through the screen. Hope's heart just clenches in this agonizing regret. She realizes right then and there that her desperate need for career independence, her ambition, her desire to prove a point at Logan has literally pushed her mother to the brink of death. She realizes that her massive success came with a price tag, and that price tag was her mother's life. But if you thought the heartbreak stopped there, you don't know this show. Because Hope isn't the only one at the hospital. Ridge Forrester is there, and RJ Forrester is there. And they are not looking at Hope with sympathy. They are looking at her with pure, unadulterated hatred. When Hope tries to step into that hospital room, when she tries to go to her mother's bedside, Ridge physically blocks her path. He steps right in front of the door like a brick wall. And the look on Torsten K's face. Wow, give the man an Emmy. Ridge is vibrating with fury. Ridge looks Hope dead in the eye and absolutely unleashes on her. He bans her from the room. He tells her she is not allowed to take one more step toward Brooke. And then he says the words that are going to haunt Hope for the rest of her life. He accuses her of being an indirect murderer. He tells her that she did this. He tells her that her lies, her deception, her running off to Katie and Bill, her public humiliation of the woman who gave her everything. That is what put Brooke in that hospital bed. Ridge doesn't hold back. He is vicious. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Ridge here because he is grieving and terrified, but he was brutal. He basically told Hope that she killed her mother's spirit, and now her mother's body is following suit. And honestly, part of me agrees with him. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Hope knew how fragile Brooke was. Hope knew how much Brooke hated Katie and Bill right now. And Hope paraded her betrayal in front of the world. But it wasn't just Ridge. RJ steps up too. RJ, the golden boy, the son who has been trying to hold this fractured family together? RJ looks at his sister with absolute disgust. He backs Ridge up completely. RJ tells Hope she is not welcome. He tells her that she chose the Spencers, she chose Logan, and now she has to live with the consequences. He looks at her like she is a stranger, like she isn't even his sister anymore. The family is completely, irreparably shattered. Hope is officially an outcast. She is standing there in the sterile hospital hallway, barred from seeing her own dying mother, surrounded by the furious faces of the men who love Brooke the most. And Hope just breaks. She completely shatters. She collapses right there on the floor outside the ICU. She falls to her knees, and then she just crumples. She is sobbing, this deep, guttural, agonizing wail. It is the sound of a woman who has gained the whole world and lost her soul. She got her fashion line. She got her creative control. She got her standing ovation on the runway. And it cost her the mother she loves more than anything in the world. It is such a tragic irony. The success at Logan is meaningless now. Every headline praising Hope by Logan is just a reminder of the knife she twisted in Brooke's back. I am just sitting here staring at my screen thinking, what were the writers thinking? But also, it is brilliant soap opera. It is messy. It is dark. It is so deeply emotional. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Even if Brooke wakes up, how does she ever look at Hope again? How does Hope ever forgive herself? How does Ridge ever let Hope back into their lives? And what about Katie? When Katie finds out that her little corporate coup pushed her sister into a life-threatening alcoholic relapse, is she going to feel guilty? Or is Bill going to tell her it's just business again? Because this isn't business anymore. This is life and death. This storyline feels different. It doesn't feel like the usual back and forth fashion house drama. This feels permanent, the damage done here, the psychological trauma, the relapse. You don't just bounce back from this with a tearful apology and a hug. Brooke's sobriety is broken. Her trust is broken. Her body is failing. I just keep replaying that image of Hope collapsed on the hospital floor. Liam trying to pick her up, Ridge and RJ standing guard at the door like sentinels, and Brooke fighting for her life on the other side of the glass. It is a masterpiece of misery. So what happens next? Does Brooke survive the night? If she does, will she even want to see Hope? Will she blame Hope, or will she blame herself? And how is Steffy going to react to this? You know, Steffy is going to have a field day blaming the Logans for destroying themselves. But even Steffy has to feel some sympathy for Brooke being in the ICU, right? Or maybe not. Steffy has been pretty ruthless lately. I am honestly exhausted just talking about it. This episode drained me. It was a roller coaster of just pure anxiety and heartbreak. We have been following this Logan versus Forrester war for weeks, watching the secrets pile up. Watching Will Spencer lie to Elektra, watching Zende lose his mind over the designs. But all of that feels so small now. The fashion show doesn't matter. The diamonds don't matter. All that matters is that Brooke Logan is dying in a hospital bed because her heart couldn't take the betrayal of her own daughter. I need a break. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Are you on Ridge's side for banning Hope from the room? Does Hope deserve this guilt? Or are Ridge and RJ being too cruel? Is Katie to blame for pushing Hope into this? Drop your thoughts, vent your frustrations, because I know I need to vent mine. I will see you guys in the next update, assuming my heart can take whatever Brad, Bell, and the writers throw at us tomorrow. Stay safe out there, and hold your loved ones close.